Happy New Year, my YouTubers! This is Dan Drepsky for the video update video for January 3rd, 2021. So, Happy New Year of 2021. Let's hope this year, 2021, is going to be quite better than 2020 when we're in this pandemic of the coronavirus of COVID-19. We had a very bad year. Everything was canceled. Yep, during the 3 months, we couldn't go out to eat, couldn't go enjoy entertainment. But now we're getting the hang of it. Yep. Let's begin with my VHS tapes. Let's start with Children's Bible Story of Jesus the Nativity. Yep. This is the 1988 release from Kids Classics. However, this copy of this tape is considered to be a reprint in the late 90s. Yep, when they put like ink labels on there. As a matter of fact, maybe this copy's got to be from Canada. The next one we got here, it is the Mormons tribute for Mormons terrible Terrence Quara Children's the Christmas classics, when they singing some Christmas songs right at the church. This ain't paparazzi, that's for sure. Restaurant video release 1988. This is a reprint from the 1990s. When it's printed it on September 29th, 1993. Yep. Another Christmas cassette I have, that is Christmas Eve on Sesame Street. It was originally in 1987 when you had to open up the right side of the box, but this is actually a reprint from the 1990s. Yep. Sesame Street specials are already available, like Big Bird in China, the one I have, and Don't Eat the Pictures, Sesame Street at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Yep. 1987 release. However, this tape was printed in the early 1990s from Random House Home Video. Someday soon I'll be getting that copy off on eBay. The next one we got here, a silent Laurel and Hardy shorts. Let's start with Angora Love. That was in 1929. The one with Laurel and Hardy brings the goat to their rooming house. Yep. The landlords played their foil actor, Edgar Kennedy. And the sticker label is kindly falling off. Yep. I love the talking Laurel and Hardy shorts instead of the silence. The next one we have here, Flying Elephants. That was in 1928. At that time, these silent Laurel and Hardy shorts were kind of distributed by Pathé. That was before Howard Roach distributed their rights to NGM in 1928, that following year. This episode has James Finlayson in it, and these two Laurel and Hardy VHS of the Lost Laurel and Hardy films were kindly released from Nostalgia Archive. Yep. That's under the same company when it's from the Howard Roach Studios Award Movie Greats. That's the Laurel and Hardy symbol, because they're from Howard Roach Studios. 1995 release. Yep. The next one we have here, a holiday musical, stars with Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Vander Miles, and Rosemary Clooney in Irving Berlin's White Christmas. 1985 release from Paramount Gulf Western Company, Paramount Home Video. A little earlier in one of my previous videos, I showed you my Bob Hope VHS collection. This is the next rental tape. This tape was printed on the 49th week of 1985. See the sticker label looks like? Yep. 12 years before White Christmas was made, Bing Crosby made an Irving Berlin musical called Holiday Inn with Fred Astaire. Now I got here, a movie that I got recently, that I'm living in the state of Pennsylvania, is A Prince of Pennsylvania, starring with Fred Ward, Keanu Reeves, and Amy Mulligan. The comedy with royal attitude. This is made for New Line Cinema, and it's from RCA Columbia Pictures Home Video. And this is an ex-rental tape from the video store. And this tape was printed on approximately 20th week of 1989. On this tape has the previews like refresh your memories at your local video store, and the preview at the end of the tape is the trailer for Touchstone Trilogy with Anne Banker, Harvey Feinstein, and Matthew Broderick. The next movie I have here, that is Spike Lee joints Do the Right Thing, one of the great films of 1989, starring with Spike Lee, Danny Aiello, Ozzie Davis, Ruby Dee, Richard Ibsen, Bill Nunn, and John Vittorio. That was after when Spike Lee did School Days at that time. This is the early 1990 original release from MCA Home Video, a little bit before they changed the name to MCA Universal Home Video, when Universal celebrated their 75th anniversary at that time, after when Paramount celebrated their 75th anniversary in the late 80s. 1990 release, and this tape was printed on the 50th week of 1989. And the only thing they didn't have was the Universal Studios Florida promo, and it doesn't have any promos with some previous titles. Now we're going to show you the collection of Heart to Heart tape series. Let's start with tape 1 of Heart to Heart. Heart to Heart TV show was made in the late 1970s and early 1980s, starring with Robert Wagner from one of the Pink Panther movies, and he was in the Austin Powers movies as well. And also has Stephanie Powers, she was in the Disney films in the 70s, like Herbie Rides Again and Boatniks. On this tape it has the pilot, like Heart to Heart, from August 25th, 1979. And this is the 2001 release from Columbia House Video Library. And this tape was printed on May 11, 2001. At the time, I was at PS 177. Yep. At that time, I was graduating from that school. Let's get the damn tape in there. Yep. The next tape I have in the series, on this tape it has Which Way, Fairway, Freeway from January 29, 1980. And here's another episode. Murder is Man's Best Friend from January 9, 1980. Show you what the print date is. Printed it on July 25th, 2001. Couple of months before, with the plane crash into the World Trade Center in New York. That's the bad time that you had to deal with that. The next one we have here is a third tape in the series. This one has Wayward, Hart from January 18th, 1983. And here's another episode. Meanwhile, back in the ranch on May 22nd, 1984. And here's the print date on this tape from August 28, 2002. That was the year after when the plane crashed into the Trade Center at the World Trade Center on 9/11. Yep. Yep. I turned 18 years old at that time in 2002. Here's the fourth tape that I have in the series. On this tape it has $1 Million Harts from October 19, 1982. And here's another one. 2 Hearts are better than 1 from September 27, 1983. Here comes the print date on it. Print date on September 10th, 2002, the day before the 1-year anniversary of the World Trade Center when everybody got killed that day. Because I lived in New York for that. It still haunts me in my mind, just like Pearl Harbor. Okay, here's the fifth one. The fifth tape it has, with this heart I read as air date on the 4th season, and then here's long lost love from November 22nd, 1983. Here's the print date on this tape. Yep. Printed it on May 13th, 2002. At the time I was still 17. And that was when VHS tapes were kindly dying out at that time. Well, specifically, VHS tapes didn't go out of business not until 2006, or they stopped making those blanks in 2008, because nobody didn't have VCRs anymore at that time. Here's the last one, called Love Game, from November 8, 1983. And here's another one called Slam Dunk on March 6, 1984. And here's the last print date on it. This tape was printed on June 3rd, 2002. At the time, it was about months before. It was about few weeks before, when it was my last week of school, something like that. That's when I started having eBay at that time. Now we got here the Star Trek: The New Generation VHS tapes. Yep. Not exactly the original Star Trek TV show when it had William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. These are the ones that has with Patrick Stewart. Yep. The ones made in the late 80s and early 90s. Let's begin with this first tape. It has episodes like Captain's Holiday and Tin Man. I can't tell about the start date. It's supposed to be maybe the air date episode. Here's what the sticker label looks like the silver Paramount logo. The home video of these Star Trek and The Next Generation tapes are from Columbia House Video Library from 1992 and Paramount Communications Company. And this tape was printed on August 1st, 1998. At that time I was 13 going on to 14 when I lived at 130th Street. Living at my grandmother's house still at the time, because that's almost near moving out of that house when we moving into the previous house on 12103 95th Avenue in Richmond Hill. Here's another Star Trek: The Next Generation tape. The second volume, and it has Pen Pals and Q-Who. Yep. This tape was printed on the 6th week of 1997, and it has a little bit like the widescreen depth tone for 2 seconds. You see, I like the original Star Trek TV show better on those VHS tapes from Paramount. Here's another one, the third tape that I have in the series. That is the episode of Encounters at Farpoint. That's only like an hour. That's only like a 100-minute episode. Looking at the tape, I don't see any like print date on it. The next one we have on this tape that has the Big Goodbye and Data Laurie, something like that. Here's like another tape with the print date. Yep. This is the fourth one. Star Trek: The Next Generation was so popular. It's not that great compared to as the original Star Trek TV show back in the 60s. Now we got here the sixth tape. The fifth tape that has game and unfaxable part 1 and part 2. His other tape has a print date on it. It was printed on March 16, 2000. At the time, that was the day before St. Patrick's Day. Yep. The next one we have here, the sixth one, that is The First Duty and Cost of Living. This was printed on August 21st, 2000. At the time, I was taking 3 weeks off from school. I was right near the end after summer school ended at that time. Yep. Then the last Star Trek: The Next Generation tape I have from Columbia House that has the episodes called Family and Remember Me. And now here's the big final print date on it. Printed it on January 4th, 1999, which is on the Monday when I came back to school after I had my my week's vacation at the time. Now we got here like plenty of more VHS tapes. We're gonna move the new one. We're gonna move the other ones right over here. Yeah. The next one we have here, one of the previous videos I did. That is Dirty Harry with Clint Eastwood. And you know, a little earlier I showed you the 1982 original release of Dirty Harry. And this is the exact same box. This is an ex-rental tape from Anticipating Blockbuster Video. This was in the previously reviewed on April 15th, 1997. And here's what this tape looks like. This I consider to be a reprint from 1984, which is, I don't mind this copy. The other copy I have, it's already downstairs, selling that right on eBay for the very near future. Dirty Harry's a great movie, and I like all the other Dirty Harry films that Clint Eastwood did back in the 1970s, even in the 80s with Sudden Impact. Here's the horror movie, that is George Romero's Death Drawer of the Dead from 1978. That's when they're at the mall. And it says, an ultimate horror film, a savage of static vision of America by Roger Ebert's Chicago Times. Yep. And this is the Thorn EMI VHS from 1982 or 1983. And you know, this tape, it's not exactly the original. This is, I consider to be like a 1985 reprint from Thorn EMI Video. Then it was reissued in 1986 or 87 from HBO Canon Video. Something I used to have on VHS till I got water damage. And all I know, I used to have without the box, and I got it from PS1 77. I was looking for had like any cartoons at the time. And you know, George Romero also did in other zombie movies like Night of the Living Dead, the original from 1968. Soon I'll get it in colorized on VHS because I like to look at things in colorization. Next one we got here, 1945's movie, Mildred Peters with Joe Crawford. Yep, the same year when The Lost Weekend became a Best Picture. This is the 1982 original release. This is an ex-formal rental tape. And this is the 1982 release from 20th Century Fox Video. I used to have this on VHS. The one in the 1987 reissue from CBS Fox. Yep, this film co-stars with Zachary Scott and Jack Carson. And also stars with Eve Adrian and Anne Brith as the one she plays her daughter, Vita. Still a great movie, Mildred Peters, in 1945. Yep. I'm trying to get other Warner Bros. Films from those Fox tapes, like White Heat with James Cagney and Cary Grant and Arsenic and Old Lace. But the other Warner Bros. Films I have from those Fox tapes were Angels with Dirty Faces and Public Enemy. Here's Muppet Moments. And this is the last Muppet tape I had to get on VHS. I have all the rest of the Muppets VHS tapes all saved up. Muppet Moments had guest stars on there like Pearl Bailey, Lena Horne, Liza Minnelli, Zero Mostel, Bernadette Peters, and Andy Williams. Yep, all the Muppet tapes has a gate opening box with the guest stars on there. Yep. Jim Henson was just a genius. 1985 release from Playhouse Video under the license of CBS Fox. At the end of the tape has the Muppet Show VHS Collection Series promo. Yep. And this copy has Macrovision on it. Hold on. Now I got here two hard to find Disney VHS tapes I just got. Let's start with this copy I've been looking for just for a while. Walt Disney's Video Longs with the Winnie the Pooh stories. One of my previous videos I did recently, I showed you the other copy of the Video Longs with the Winnie the Pooh stories. Didn't have Walt Disney and You promo, but this copy has the Walt Disney and You promo. And this copy was printed on December 31st, 1985. Yep. Hold on a second. Here's another Video Longs Disney tape. The Disney Classics. Yep. And I showed you the Disney Classics in one of my previous videos back in 4 months ago. Yep. And then in that copy of it, I'll be eventually selling that right on eBay. And this copy was printed on October 7th, 1986, and this one has the test pattern on there. And the copy of the Winnie the Pooh Video Longs tape I just showed you, that has the Walt Disney and You promo on it just for 3 minutes. Edited version one. Now I got here two lovely films of Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy. Let's begin with Maytime. Maytime is Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy's favorite film in their careers. And did you know Maytime was their third film they did together back in 1937 after they did their other films together like Naughty Marietta and Rosemarie. And they did the series of 8 films of Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy. The America's Singing Sweethearts, yep. And this is the 1988 reissue of Maytime from MGM UA Home Video's Hooray for Hollywood series. Originally, Maytime was first released on VHS and Beta in 1985 of the MGM UA Home Video's Diamond Jubilee, that's the collection. And this film was co-stars with Lionel Barrymore, Lionel Barrymore's brother. And it says, Maytime, the screen can do no wrong while these two are singing, by the New York Times. And they say also in the 1985 packaging, a picture to treasure. And this copy of Maytime was copied from the 1985 release of Maytime. Here's a sticker label from 1985. Print date on approximately on July 5th, 1988. And at the end of the tape has a Deftone on there. Boy, I'm always loved Jeanette MacDonald, Nelson Eddy. Here's like another Jeanette MacDonald movie I have on VHS. The Married Widow from 1934. And this is the film Jeanette did with Maurice Chevalier. Jeanette and Maurice made 4 films since they first did together in Love Parade in 1929. This is also directed by Ernst Lubitsch. Yep. And this is the 1989 release of The Married Widow. And did you know Married Widow did like the remake later with Lana Turner in 1952? But this Married Widow was better. And this is the 1989 release of The Married Widow. It was out around that time with the other Jeanette MacDonald, Nelson Eddy movies were never before released. That is, I Marry an Angel and Bittersweet. Something like that. And this is the next Blockbuster video rental. Yep. And I do love Jeanette MacDonald so much. Pretty soon I'm going to show you the Jeanette MacDonald Nelson Eddy VHS collection in the very near future. All their movies on DVD. Yep. Now let's, I got plenty of more VHS tapes coming your way. The next one we got here, that is, one of the Walt's animated movies was made in the early 80s without Walt Disney. That is, the 1981's Fox and the Hound. The Fox and the Hound was marketed as the last one to be released in the Walt Disney's The Classics with the Diamond logo in 1994. Yep. Fox and the Hound is just a good Disney film, but one of the animators in this film was kindly retiring at the time. That's got to be Ollie Johnson and Frank Thomas. Don Bluth and his animators got fired in the early 80s. Yep. On this tape has the Lion King trailer on there. Ink label, yep. Printed it on January 18, 1994. At the time I was 9 years old. Here's another Disney tape I have. And it's a Neon Mickey tape of The Big Red that's starring with Walter Pidgeon. And this is the 1986 reissue. Originally, The Big Red came out in 1984 on VHS. Yep. Here's what this tape looks like. Printed it on October 20th, 1986. And that one has the Deftone. This one doesn't have a Deftone. But on this tape has like a little bonus. Yep. During a video promotion release of Sleeping Beauty. How much I love these Walt animated movies. In the future, I'm going to show you the rest of my Disney VHS collection. Sorry about that. Next one we got here is a Blank Edwards comedy called Mickey and Maude that stars with Dudley Moore, Amy Irving, and Anne Raikin, the one she was in Annie with Albert Finney in 1981. Blank Edwards directed this film. The same Blank Edwards was with Julie Andrews when they did Victor Victoria, and I like Dudley Moore in his outrageous comedy like Arthur when he drinks a lot, and not the sequel of Arthur like Arthur Run on the Rocks. It's not a great movie.